Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about absolute value and adding real numbers. For the definitions, we have the opposite of a number. If a number are the same distance from zero on the number line are on different sides of zero. So opposite is really means if you have a zero right here and if you have a two, then opposite of it will be a -2. If you have a number that is -1, opposite of it will be a +1. Oh, +1. That's the opposite of a number. So please, let's take a look at the example. Example 3, which is going to be -3, opposite is going to be 3. And right here, you got to make sure you take care of negative signs. So that's going to be a +5. So opposite of that is going to be -5. And the next one, you have a -8. That's going to be equal to -8. So the opposite is going to be +8. The next one is the definition of absolute value. The definition of absolute value is the distance of the number is distance. The number is from zero of the zero on the number line written as A. So they are really talking about if this is 0, this is, let's say 5. The distance between them is 5. That is the absolute value. And when you have a distance of -7 to the 0, and that is going to be a +7. So those are the distance you are talking about. So we are going to try the few examples on the bottom. So the first one is going to be the distance of 0 to 2. So that's just 2. The next one is the distance from -2 to 0. That's going to be still 2. Then right here is you need to deal, example number 6 is you are going to deal with the distance from 2 to 0. That's 2. But there's a negative outside of it. So therefore, there's -2 as your answer. And the next one is the distance from the -2 to the 0. And because of that, that part is going to give you just a 2. And the negative answer on the outside, that's going to be -2. So that would be your answer for example number 7. Example number 8 says, find the sum of two numbers with the same sign. And when they have the same sign, you're literally just adding the numbers together and keep the sign. So if you, as the problem gets harder and a higher level math, we always use one symbol for operation. So it should be, you should understand by now, -3 minus 6 is what this problem's about. And that should be because the signs are the same, the numbers are to be added. So it's going to be -9. And keep the sign. So there is -9. And then the next example, example number 9. And then because the denominator is the same, we are pretty much just to combine the top numbers. And don't forget right here, that's going to be just minus sign. So that's really going to be -1/15. Oh, I'm sorry, 1/5 minus 3/5. And the answer is just going to be, because signs are the same, so it's going to be just -4/5. And therefore, that is the answer. Example 10. A person has credit card balance of $0. If she uses her credit card to make two purchases, one for $2 and one for $5, what is the new balance? So in this case, your credit card starts with a 0, and then +2 plus 5, that is going to be $7. The new balance, you should write it out. The new balance of the credit card should be $7. Next few problem. Find the sum of two numbers with different signs. So when you have a sum of different signs with different signs. So example number 11, when the signs are different, if you break it down, if the sign is different, then you find the difference and keep the sign of a bigger number. So that is going to be 7 minus 4, 3. What is the sign of the bigger number? 7. So that's a plus sign. So that's a +3. That's the answer. And next one, if you change the sign into one sign, that's going to be 3 minus 9. And notice the signs are different, so you find the difference, which is 6, and keep the sign of a bigger number, so that's minus, and that is example 12. So example 13, the denominator is not the same, so therefore we have to make the same. So in this case, the 6 is the denominator, so we're going to multiply 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top, and that's going to be negative 5 over 6 plus 4 over 6. And since the signs are different, you find the difference. So in this case, it's going to be negative 1 over 6. And that will be your answer, and keeping the sign of the bigger number, which is 5. So the sign is going to be negative 1 over 6. So the sign will be negative, and the answer will be 1 over 6. Please try example number 14 and example number 15. For the last two problems, example 14, a person bounced several checks and is charged service charge such that the balance of the checking account is negative $75. If the person then deposits $300, what is the balance? If the person then deposits $300, what is the balance? So negative 90.75 is the negative balance in the bank, in the account, and you add $300. So your total amount now in the checking account is $209.25. So that's why I wrote the balance of the checking account is $209.25. Example 15. 3 hours ago, the temperature was negative 11 degrees Fahrenheit. If the temperature has increased by 5 degrees in the past 3 hours, what is the current temperature? So negative 11 plus 5 gives you negative 6. So the current temperature is negative 6 degrees Fahrenheit. And that concludes the notes for 1.4. Thank you so much for watching.